If you've ever opened your book of shadows looking for a ritual you wrote 6 months ago and given up after 10 minutes of flipping pages, you already know the problem this video is here to solve. A book of shadows isn't meant to be a scrapbook of everything magical that's ever crossed your path. It's meant to be a working tool, something you can actually use at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday when you need a protection spell and don't have the patience to hunt for it. Organization isn't about being rigid or doing it right. It's about making sure your practice is usable, findable, and able to grow with you over years, not just months. Before you buy a beautiful leather journal or set up a folder system, ask yourself, what do I actually use my book of shadows for? Some witches use theirs primarily as a spell reference. Others treat it as a spiritual diary tracking correspondences between inner work and outer results. Others are deep into herbalism, astrology, or deity work and need a structure that supports research as much as ritual. There's no universal answer, and that's the point. The structure should follow your practice, not the other way around. A kitchen witch's book of shadows will look very different from a ceremonial hermetic practitioner's, and both are correct. Regardless of tradition, most books of shadows end up needing some version of these sections. Think of this as scaffolding, not a rule book. First, tools, symbols, and foundations. This is your reference layer. Altar tools and their meanings, the elements, your personal correspondences for colors, moon phases, days of the week. You'll flip back to this constantly, so keep it near the front. Second, the wheel of the year, your sabbats, your esbats, any seasonal observances. Even if you don't celebrate every festival, giving this its own space keeps your seasonal practice from scattering across loose pages. Third, and this is usually the heart of the book, spells and workings. This is also the section most likely to descend into chaos if you don't file it well. We'll come back to that in a minute. Fourth, herbal and material correspondences. If you work with herbs, crystals, or other materia magica, keep a dedicated reference here, so you're not re-researching rosemary's properties for the 5th time this year. Fifth, rituals and ceremonies, longer structured workings. Initiations, dedications, full ritual scripts tend to need more room than a quick spell entry. Give them their own space. Sixth, journal and reflections. Dreams, signs, results of your workings, moon journaling. This is where the living part of the book happens. Long-term, this section often becomes more valuable than the spells themselves. And seventh, deity and spirit work. If devotional practice is part of your path, give it its own section. It tends to accumulate its own notes, offerings, and personal gnosis over time. Here's where most books of shadows quietly fall apart. You write a spell, it feels complete in the moment, and 6 months later, you can't remember if you filed it under protection, banishing, or house blessing. So here are 4 things that actually hold up over time. 1. File by intent, not ingredient. A spell belongs under love or protection, not under rose quartz or candle magic. You'll always remember what you were trying to do before you remember how you did it. 2. Use a consistent entry template. Date, moon phase, intention, materials, working, result. When every entry follows the same shape, your eye learns to scan for what it needs. 3. Keep a running index, a table of contents at the front, or a tagging system if you're working digitally. This is what turns a book into a reference, not just a record. And 4, leave room to grow. Loose leaf binders, tabbed sections with blank pages, or digital documents all let a category expand without cramming new entries into the margins. There's a romance to handwriting your book of shadows. The physical ritual of ink on paper is its own kind of magic, and many traditions place real weight on that act. But there's no rule that says a digital system is less valid. A well-tagged digital archive is often more usable precisely because it's searchable. Many witches land on a hybrid, a handwritten book for rituals, sabbats, and anything that feels ceremonial, alongside a digital, searchable archive for the spell and correspondence reference material they need to find quickly. Your first book of shadows will not be your last, and it doesn't need to be perfect from page 1. Many witches keep a master copy that gets recopied and reorganized every few years as their practice deepens, pruning what no longer resonates, expanding what's become central. That act of recopying is itself a kind of ritual, a way of literally rewriting your relationship to your own craft. The measure of a well-organized book of shadows isn't how beautiful it looks. It's whether, a year from now, you can open it and find exactly what you need, and see, in your own handwriting or your own words, how far your practice has come. If this helped you think through your own book of shadows, let me know in the comments what section you're working on right now. And if you want more on building a working practice, not just a pretty one, subscribe for the next one.